So I've already done an intro video a little while ago, but I noticed the GoPro was off, but the counter was still running. So I don't know what's up with that. This thing's starting to act funny. This is my second GoPro. It seems like you get a little over a year out of them and they start acting up and acting stupid. So I don't know if it recorded anything or not. So I'm going to go ahead and do another intro. But today is November 7th, 2022, and it's already pretty late in the afternoon. I cleaned up my garage this morning, put a bunch of stuff up. I rearranged my spare bedroom in my house where I have shelving units for parts, and rearranged a lot of the parts I had out here scattered on tables for my hardtop. So I don't have a deadline set up. I kind of do, but it's in mid-February at Daryl Starber's Rod and Custom Car Show, where I plan on having my two-door hardtop there on show. This car is not that far away from being done, but I am tired of messing with this thing. I am burnt out, guys. I am done. And I know you guys are screaming that just finish it. It's too close not to finish it. I can't. You're not in my shoes, man. I spent 5 months straight on that car and I'm burnt out. I need a break. So I'm going to take a 7-day week break. I've got other things I need to do. I got stuff I need to do to my house. I need to find out why my truck's running rough. My square body that I drive every day it's hard to start and it's running rough. I'm suspecting that new coil's probably going south already. It's got a new fuel filter on it and everything, so I don't think it's anything. I also switched tanks to the other tank. It's fuel injected throttle body and it has dual electric fuel pumps in the dual tanks. I switched fuel pumps and it doesn't run any different, so I'm suspecting it's ignition related. And it's probably that stupid new Excel coil. So I need to mess with that, see if I can put the old coil on it, see if that fixes it. I need to work on my house a little bit. I need to check the antifreeze in the truck and the hardtop, make sure it's good for, well below zero. I don't want it to freeze up. But I was planning on working on my wife's four-door a little bit as well. I want to try to get everything cleaned up with a cut brush, get the metal clean, finish the bodywork on the car, and get the rust defender primer on it. So I have already uncovered it. I just now done that. Got the cover set in there. It's the first time that thing has been uncovered. It's the first time I've messed with this car in 6 months. So I've been off this car for 6 months. This is if you're new to my channel, guys, I know a lot of my new subscribers came to my channel for my hardtop, but I have another 55 here. It's a four-door sedan 55. This is a 210 series. It's not a Belair. It's the middle of the road for the 55 Chevys. They had a 150 series that did not have side trim on it. And then they had a 210 that did have side trim on it, and then they had Belairs. That is a 210, it's middle of the road. Now I'm building that car for my wife, and that is going to be more of a restoration car. I want it to look original with hubcaps and everything, stock height and everything, stock steering wheel. It's going to have all reproduction interior in it, from Ciadella, all stock replacement looking stuff, like it's showroom fresh. But I've upgraded a few things: disc brakes, front sway bar, little 3-point seat belts, heated seats, air conditioning. What else? Anyway, but it's going to look original. I'm painting it that real pale celery green looking color. It's actually a Buick, 50s Buick green, because this was Neptune green. It's a little bit darker green, and then it had a lighter green roof. But that green always looked blue to me. So I'm doing a Shoreline beige, which is a 55 color. It's a cream color, tan if you will. That's going to be on the roof. The rest of the car is going to be green, but it's going to have original 210 hubcaps on it, steel wheels and all that stuff. But that is going to be my wife's car that is going to be a daily driver. And when I say daily driver, I mean daily driver. I'm building that car for her to drive every day, wherever she wants to go, if it's out of state or whatever. So it's going to be a pretty decent driver quality car. She'll be able to show it, but it's not something we're going to throw mirrors under, you know what I mean? It's going to be a nicely done paint job and interior and stuff, and engine compartment, but nothing going to be super proud of underneath. I didn't do any body work to the frame or nothing, just painted it. I blasted it and painted it. I think I did do a little body work up at the top front when the hood's open, but I didn't do it like I did my hardtop. That car I can put mirrors and lights under it. This car, not so much. But anyway, this is going to be her car, legitimately her car. So I fit her in the car when I built the seatbelt anchors and the B-pillars for the 3-point seatbelts. So I built the car for her. But anyway, that's the plan. By the end of the 7 days, I want to get the stuff done to my house. Just little piddly things I need to do. I want to get primer on that. I want to fix my truck. There was something else. I don't remember what it was. Oh well. I'll figure it out. But anyway, hopefully you'll see a few videos this week of me working on the 4-door. Now, I didn't have a YouTube channel when I started building this car in 2013, but I did have my YouTube channel when I started on this car. I think it was like 2 years ago I bought that. And I have playlists. I have 2 separate playlists. The first playlist on this car, I think it's Barn Find 55 Chevy 4-door or something, and that's when I found it and went and bought it. Had to clean all the crap off of it and brought it home, and I spent like a week or 2, I don't remember. I got it running, did some wiring on it, rebuilt the carburetor, changed the wheel, did a bunch of stuff to it, maintenance stuff, put a disc brake kit on it, did the brakes on the rear as well. And I got the straight 6 3-speed on the column. I got it to where it run really good. Like, it started really easy and idled and ran good. I drove it to the end of my block and back, but it acted like it had 4 bent rims because the tires were from the 90s and they were dry rotted. And anyway, so I never did take it out on the road. And it was partially stripped out. You know, some of the side windows was out of it. Some of the trim was off of it. The tail lights were out of it. Headlights and that type of stuff. It was mostly together, but it just wasn't road legal. I ended up pulling the engine and trans out and selling it to another Tri-5 guy to put in a Tri-5 project 4-door of his. And I don't know if he ever did anything or not. And I don't remember his name. If you're happening to watching this video, because I think he watches my channel, comment down below if you ever got that engine running or what you put it in and stuff. I'm kind of curious. I remember he had a couple of Tri-5 4-doors, like a 55 and a 56 or a 57, I don't remember. But anyway, he's planning on putting that engine and trans in one of them. And it was a good motor and transmission, so I'm kind of curious as how far he got on it. Anyway, I'm putting a 305 HO in it with a turbo 350 trans, and I did put a 10 bolt in it with 308 gears. So it should be very highway friendly, and I know a lot of people are against 305s. I'm personally not. I don't mind them at all. It's what's in my square body. I've had many 305s through the years, and I've never had a bad one. I mean, I've had one that had over 200,000 miles on it. It was a good engine, but you know, I'm not building a race car for my wife. I'm building something she can get out on the highway and cruise. And if she gets on a turnpike or an interstate, she can keep up with traffic very well. It'll pass a car if it needs to. It's not going to break any speed records, but it'll get her where she's going. And anyway, she's going to be proud of it. But anyway, I'm going to mess with this thing for 7 days, which I've got other stuff to do too. But after that, I'm going to be pretty fired up to get back on that hard top for sure, and that is the plan. But I will have that car at Darryl Starber's car show in 2023, unless something catastrophic happens, you know, and it could. Like, anything can happen. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. It's getting pretty late in the evening. It's going to be supper time here in just a minute, but now I've got the garage cleaned out, and I can go ahead and pull that body in here. I don't even have anywhere to put my engine hoist anymore. It's been sitting out there with the car. So I need to get rid of some of this crap. I got all these freaking cylinder heads, and I don't even need them. I need to get rid of them. I think that pair back there might be the 305 ones I need to rebuild to put on that engine. And I've already rebuilt that 305 for that car. That's the transmission for it. And I do have a rebuild kit sitting over there in the box to put in it. What else? I've done a lot of stuff to that car, but I'm kind of thinking that by the end of my 7 days, which I'm technically going to start tomorrow because I got a late start today. I did a bunch of cleaning and everything, so tomorrow is when it actually starts, 7 days. But I am pretty sure I can get my primer on that whole body shell by the end of the week. That'll be pretty cool. So anyway, guys, hopefully you're on board. I'm pretty excited to get off of this thing for a little bit, even though it is just for 7 days. It'll be pretty nice to get a breath of fresh air on something else, you know what I mean? I can't just take 7 days off and not do anything. I have to work on a car, work on something. So I'm sure there's a few other things in the house that my wife will want done, and I'll do that. But if it's not raining tomorrow, I'm going to do body work on that. But if it is raining tomorrow, I haven't looked at the forecast, I'll work on something in the house, or I'll work on my truck under the carport. But at least now I can put my truck back under the carport, you know what I mean? And I can start putting the 4-door back in here with this. Because regardless of which car I work on, I can move one or the other out. And the good thing about this thing being running and driving now, if I go to do the primer on that car, I can actually drive my hardtop around behind my house to get it out of the way of overspray. But that's it. I've talked your ear off long enough. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Well, I hope that GoPro actually recorded that intro, because the screen just went black, but it was still counting off. So been noticing them GoPros, you get a little over a year out of them and then they start acting up. So guess let's roll this little thing over here. And get the cover off. I forgot I zip tied that. I think I'm going to try to stretch that car cover out over my truck tomorrow if it doesn't rain. I know it's not going to fit the truck, but I'm thinking I can get it on there, stretched it tight enough, so I can wash it with a scrub brush and Dawn dish soap and then rinse it with a hose, because this thing is filthy. I blew it off with my leaf blower, but it's like real gritty, and when you run your hand on it, it just turns it black. So this is an Amazon car cover. I'm not sure what brand it is, but it's got a liner in it, and it's waterproof, like no water goes through it. We got a new rug for the living room, and I got the old one so I can lay on it comfortably when I'm underneath my hardtop detailing it. A lot of leaves hiding under it. Well, so far it looks pretty good. It looks like it's working pretty well. I mean, I know it's going to have some oxidation on it from moisture in the air, but it ain't going to be no match for that cut brush and my DA. I don't remember how much work I've done to this bodywork wise. It seems like I got it maybe 3/4 of the way done. Did a lot of filler work on it. Yeah, I do see some rust spots on the back of it. Well, figure out what I'm going to do with that thing until tomorrow. Well, I guess I'll take you guys with me here and show you. Yeah, this is not what you want to do. You don't want to put a bare metal, bare plastic car out for 5 months underneath a carport with a car cover on it. It's not a smart idea, but it doesn't feel rough. I mean, I know it's going to have oxidation on it. That cut brush will, I'll video that. It'll clean that thing off nice. Rather quickly, actually. I got a brand new one in the box to put on, too. I'm pretty happy with that. And some rust there. So, yeah, I got, looks like it must have got some water back here. Rust up in there. I do see some staining back here. So I'm going to grind all this filler out back here on the whole back of the car and just redo it. It won't take that long. I'm not going to take a chance. I still got to blast that area down there on both sides with my portable blaster. I bought another bag of sand back when I was working on this, and I never did do that. I think this thing's pretty close to putting that rust defender on. So I don't use epoxy primers like everybody thinks you must. I use Rust Defender. It's made by a company named Clausen. It is designed to put over bare metal, and it is polyester. And you can call them and talk to them yourself, which I have on a few occasions. I've used that stuff since the 90s, and I absolutely love it. It is the biggest secret to getting a laser straight finish is using that Z-Chrome, in my opinion. But instead of buying epoxy and then buying polyester, you can pretty much do it with the Z-Chrome. That's what it's for. A lot of people argue with that, but I guarantee you, you ain't sprayed as much of this as I have. Yeah, it's not bad, guys. That cut brush will clean that up really, really quick. I'm kind of amazed, actually. I figured it'd be just brown, but hell, I'll take it. Looks like I had a little bit of leakage back here, probably the wind blowing the rain in from the carport this way, I'm assuming, but looks fine to me. Huh, that's pretty awesome. I knew there was rust on the trunk from me touching it and stuff. Well, I forgot I did a lot of work to the dash too. I don't think this thing's far from getting primer on it. I can see where I put a lot of filler on and never went back and sanded it. I'll go back and watch some of my latest videos late tonight before I go to bed and see where I'm at. That'll kind of catch me up. I'll get my notebook out and look at it. I've got a notebook for each project car, and when I get off of a project car, I like to go back and look at the notebook, and that pretty much tells me where I was, because I make notes of parts needed, problems I've encountered, you know, that type of stuff. So then when I get back to the project, I get the notebook out and run through it, and it gets me back up to speed where I was. But the only thing I'm really going to do is some body work, try to get the whole body shell in primer, so not that big of a deal. I do remember I fit the doors, like gapped them and bent around on them, got them to fit the body super awesome. And then I put them in my shed. I drilled and pinned the hinges so they'll go directly right back on where they were. And I think that's it. Wow, that's amazing. Already restored the chassis. It's got new ball joints, tires, disc brakes, all kinds of stuff done already. New shocks, painted and everything. New fuel line, brake lines. Wait, I don't think the brake lines are finished. I think I've done the main one to the rear, but I haven't done any of the front ones. It might not hurt to get this in primer and go ahead and set it on the chassis. I don't have to bolt it down or anything. I would really like to paint it on that body cart, but I could paint it on the chassis, just mask everything off if I needed to, but because I do need to still mock up a few things. So it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and put it in primer and then go ahead and set it on the chassis. I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. And then I can pull the body with the chassis in the garage instead of having the chassis outside. That's the other problem. The chassis, the cover blew off of it. I don't know how long it's been off of it. I just noticed it this morning. But that cover's been off there for a while. Or not this morning, yesterday. I seen it yesterday when I was in there, but I didn't walk over and look at the chassis. I just opened the door and looked in there and then closed the door because I was like, oh crap. So that's where I'm at. It's pretty much into the evening now, so that is probably, I'm going to go ahead and just pull the car in. Actually, I think I'm going to pull it up a little bit closer, and I think I'll use my leaf blower on it and blow the heck out of the inside of it and the top of it, and then I'll go ahead and pull it in here for the night, and then I'm done. So tomorrow, depending on the weather, if it's raining, I'm not going to mess with it, but I might work on my truck underneath the carport if it's raining. So anyway, guys, hopefully you'll follow along. Hopefully you're ready to see something different on my channel besides this thing. I know a lot of you probably aren't, but that's the way it's going to be for 7 days, I promise you. Anyway, thanks for watching.